Hello everyone. Today we will be playing a game called Sinking Ship Simulator. It's a pretty fun game. You can sink what are ships, I guess. Not just ships actually. There's something called Detective Dolphin, even though it's a unicorn. Very confused. I don't know why this unicorn thinks it's a dolphin. That's okay. So we have a pierce tool, a flood tool, a dry tool, and a move tool. So we can move this so-called dolphin. We can dry it. We can flood it. And we can just break it. So now it has no horn, and now it's just a pony. But we're not sinking unicorns today. I don't think that's even how it works. Yeah, now it's just a horse. Yeah, sorry, pony. Sorry about that. So we are going to be sinking the Titanic because we made 2 Minecraft Titanic videos. One got 150 views, which is incredible, and the other, it was more in depth, talking about like more of it and stuff. So I thought, why don't we sink the Titanic? So that's exactly what we're gonna do. And we're not just gonna sink it, we're gonna sink it like it actually sank on April 14th, 1912. It is officially 11:40 p.m. Yeah, that's when the iceberg hit. But at about 11:39 p.m., Frederick Fleek spotted an iceberg. Yeah, he ordered hard starboard, and they kinda missed. And yeah, it broke a 300-foot gash through 5 compartments. It was a pretty big gash, and the ship could only withstand 4 compartments, so it would sink. This ship is not inevitable, like Thanos. Just kidding. Nothing is inevitable. So, yeah, the Titanic is sinking. The captain orders to open the watertight doors. But yeah, it doesn't really turn out the way he had planned. And it continued to sink and bust through every door that the water got in its way. Before it goes underwater, we're gonna have to snap these strings so things can actually happen, like the funnels falling. Because if the string is here, then the funnels can't fall. No entertainment. Just kidding. So as the bow goes in the water, the stern gets out of the water, and as I showed you in the last video, the propellers. So it is flooding. At this time it's about 11:30, or no, not 11:30, 12:30 a.m. 1912, April 15th now, because it sank in the night. Let's give the crow nest a bit more room. There we go. That's a bit better. There you go, Frederick. So, now it's about 12:45. So the bow is really flooding, and then let's say a door busts open here just to speed up the sinking, because you don't want to be bored just watching something go into water. So, and a lot of you may not have known this, but there was a fire on the ship, and it was on fire since the very day it set sail. The firemen could not handle with it, and it just so happened that fire was at the very spot the iceberg struck. So, a watertight door ripped open, causing water to flood in at rapid speeds, therefore causing the bow to go underwater. And if you're wondering why it's so slow, I preset the game. Water flow, it's on 3 right now. It's supposed to be on 60, which is normal somehow. And it would sink within seconds. Trust me, it is very fast. So yeah, the propellers are becoming more and more visible, and once they fully come out of the water, once the rudder gets its last slurpings, just kidding, once the rudder dries, the ship starts to stress because thousands and thousands of tons of steel, concrete, wood, furniture, just everyday items of 1912, everyday items on a ship. There was even a pool, I think. Actually, there was a pool, and there was like a library, a gym, that crap. As you see, the compass tower. Not really a tower. These are more like towers. In fact, the Titanic was about 14 stories high, including the mast. So look, 1, 2, 3. The boiler rooms were about 3 stories. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. It was a big ship. In fact, the largest of 1912. And it was for a while, for about 40 years. Can you believe that? 40 years. And in the 1950s, it was passed by an unknown named ship that witnessed a plane crash. Very unfortunate. So, the bow is about to flood. Let's have a few portholes break open, just for funsies. There we go. Portholes breaking open. Smash. Smash. There we go. That'll speed up the sinking somewhat. And yeah. Oh wow, the bow is really flooding now since I did that. Holy. Geez. Okay, the bow is flooding. It's about 1:30 p.m. or no, a.m. 1:30 a.m. 1912. April 15th, once again. And yeah. Let's have another porthole break open. Pop! Oh, that's a big one. And yeah. So the mast hangs on for a really long time, all the way until the breakup at about 12:15 or between 12:14 and 12:18 a.m. It's really early or late, depending on what side of the world you're on. I don't really care. So yeah. Oh wow, it's really starting to flood. because this happened. The watertight door broke open. And yeah, oh wow. Okay, the the stress on the ship from at about this point is starting, which means the stern is wanting to go back down into the ocean because of gravity. And yeah. Oh wow, the bridge is flooding at a rapid pace. And yeah, one of the most famous events in the history of the ship is about to happen, the final collapsing. Yeah, it was unfortunate, as you saw in the 1997 movie. Very unfortunate. Let's have the lights flicker a little bit. Flicker. The lights are flickering. I'm actually just changing the time of day, believe it or not. There we go. We have the lights flickering. The ship came out of the water. What the heck? I thought it was all the way down here. Okay, there we go. Now it's flooding. We need some portholes to break open, because this is taking way too long. Let's speed this process up, boy. There we go. That's better. Much better. There we go. Okay, now it's really flooding. Oh boy. So, as you saw in the movie, the funnel unfortunately didn't last long in the water. Some strings snapped. And metal just didn't want to say hi, so it just collapsed. Not a very good whistler, but meh. Okay, so let's have this go underwater. Oh, whoops. Whoopsies. There we go. That's gonna flood. There we go. So, oh god. Alright, the stress on the ship is extreme. The parts that are out of the water that my mouse is running along, this part of the ship alone weighs about 5,000 tons, maybe more. I think it could weigh as much as like 10,000 actually. It was very heavy, and it's still rising. Let's have the skylight dome smash open. And the electricity, it goes out. The electricity goes out. So, I hope you guys can still see. Let's pretend it's still a bit bright. Just because emergency lights, lanterns, that stuff. The second funnel finally decides it doesn't want to be on the ship anymore. There we go. Oh, whoops. And the ship breaks. I didn't even have to do that. Except it didn't break there. But because of unknown reasons, it actually broke in two. It's hard to believe, but it did break in two, and there was something called the missing middle. So that can be the missing middle right there. So the funnels, they decide to give up on life once the ship breaks, and the bow plunges to the bottom. As you can see, the mast rips off like earlier, and it goes down like a torpedo. This thing should go under. The double bottom hangs on, then it lets go. Never let go, Jack. No, I'm leaving you. So yeah, that goes under. And because it hangs on, we have to simulate that. And because it isn't actually hanging on, we have to weigh it down with water. So it's going under, it's going under. It's starting to flood once again. Yeah, then it lets go. So let's have a bit of drainage. But that doesn't really help. So since that, like, you couldn't actually see the missing middle, because then there would be 3 pieces, we're gonna have to break it up a little bit. Gonna have to have some debris. There we go. So there. We have loads of debris. There we go. Missing middle right there. The bow goes to the bottom. It is officially 12:18, and yeah, 12:18 a.m., 1912, and the final plunge begins. Water starts flowing at a rapid pace, and the stern decides it still doesn't want to meet the water. It doesn't want to say hello. So it rises up, and then finally the final plunge begins. It goes under. So that happens, and then using my flood tool, it doesn't go perfectly vertical. It goes about like this. So yeah, it floods. And the Titanic takes one last breath of air before it plunges into the cold, icy waves of the North Atlantic. Goodbye, Titanic. So yeah, the bow's already made contact. It does not look like that. For brightness purposes, we are going to make it day, so you can see what's going on. There's a missing middle, and the stern is bucking it. I think it was going about 50 kilometers per hour, which is insane. That's like driving on the road speed. It was going very fast, even though it doesn't look like it. It happened. This is just a simulation. Not everything's perfect. It did happen though. So yeah, that was the sinking of the Titanic, simulated in a beautiful game. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, please comment down below if you liked it. Comment if you want to see more stuff like this, or different stuff. I could do it. Yeah, like the video, subscribe. It'll help boost my self-esteem. And if you don't, I'll take your cookies. So, goodbye.